Man, I think if I was a keyboard reviewer, I definitely would have evicted myself from my own place of residence. But anyway, as I said in a previous video, I've been streaming more often now, twitch.tv/Offcast if you haven't checked it out yet. But I've been trying to improve the stream quality, and by that I mean the visual quality, not just the audio quality. And I think this is something that a lot of people do. And I've been streaming for about 10 years now, and I feel that with the current bitrate limitations that Twitch puts on, about 6,000 bitrate, there's really no reason to go above 720p, 60 FPS. You know, even if you throw a crazy CPU at it and encode at x264 slow, you're just really limited by bitrate. But if you're chasing that 1080p, 60 FPS dream like I've started to, well, this episode of Stream Tech is from me to you. Let's talk about the cheapest way to improve your stream quality. So first things first, a couple disclaimers. Any of the products that I link to in the description or mentioned in this video, they are affiliate links, which do help support the channel if you buy from those affiliate links. The other disclaimer is that anything that I recommend here, yes, it'll probably improve the video quality of your stream, give you a crisper stream, but that does not necessarily translate to stream quality, right? You could have the best looking stream ever. If people are immediately bored or uninterested, as soon as they tune in, they go away, then what's the point? Work on the content, work on yourself first, work on your angle, what kind of streamer are you? That's way more important, and there's tons of people out there trying to help you out with that. But now that we've gotten past that, so I run a dual PC streaming setup, but I feel the tips here apply to people on single PCs or even laptops when you're deciding what laptop you want to purchase. And the thing is that for most of the streaming era, people have decided their streaming setups based on their CPU. So they want a high quality stream. They need the PC that has the most cores in it. They need to buy really expensive multi-core CPUs, or if they upgrade, it's going to cost $500. And it's kind of like a domino effect, right? You get a better CPU. Oh man, it doesn't work with my motherboard. I got to get another motherboard. Oh man, my RAM doesn't work with my motherboard. I got to get a new RAM. I got to get a different power supply to power this new powerful CPU. Oh man, now I need to get a new GPU. Oh man, my capture cards don't work with it anymore. It just really adds up and it becomes a lot of different expenses. So how does NVIDIA have your back in all this? So for a while now, NVIDIA has included this encoder on their actual GPUs called NVENC. And with the RTX and the 1660 series of their GPUs, they've actually upgraded this encoder. Now, a ton of other people, especially there's this video by ePostvox who's done all this testings comparing the new NVENC encoder with certain parameters versus x264, which was considered like the benchmark of the best quality streaming you can get. And in a lot of instances, NVENC has actually outperformed x264 using the slow preset. Now I know a lot of hardcore purists will be like, all right, well, if you use this special super secret parameters for x264, you can squeeze out this bit of quality. And if you have like a 32 core monster, you know, you'll definitely get better results out of x264 with this. But this video is meant for people who just want to buy something that's relatively cheap. You can just slap into your PC. And that's what NVIDIA has done with NVENC. So you can buy a 1660 GPU and that can cost you like $200 maybe if you shop around enough. Or you can buy a 2060, like there's actually the 2060 Supers now. So the 2060s have reduced in price. So basically you can buy a decent GPU for around $150 to $300. And if you buy the RTX cards, you also get the RTX voice. So you can basically improve your mic too by removing the background. Different video, I'll link to it above with my test for that. But it's really cheap to get really good encoding. You can also direct this in your laptop purchases. You know, I get so many comments on my laptop video like, okay, if I get this thing with this processor, is this a good laptop for streaming? And 90% of my answers are like, look, if you're looking for a laptop, just look for a laptop with a 1660 in it or a 2060, basically an RTX card or the minimum card, and then you'll be set for streaming and encoding because this is not going to impact your gameplay as much. Not as much as x264 will. And it really just makes things super streamlined. We'll talk about the encoding settings in a minute, but yeah, you just buy this and you can now stream your games at 1080p, 60 FPS, and you're not just chewing up your frame rate and having this horrible experience with your gameplay. All right, so let's say that you're coming back to this video and you're like, okay, well, I bought my GPU. I I have it installed, I have it ready to go, latest drivers. How do I use this super magic, awesome encoder, right? Well, it's super easy. It works pretty much the same way in both OBS and XSplit, and NVIDIA actually made this really handy guide for OBS and how to set this all up. But for simplicity's sake, in OBS, you're gonna wanna go to your settings, you wanna go to your output, you're gonna wanna change the encoder from x264 to NVENC new, and you're gonna see different parameters, but basically, you're gonna wanna turn on the look ahead and the cycle visual tuning, and you're gonna wanna make sure the preset is set to max quality, right? You can set the B-frames to 2 or 4, but basically 2 is pretty much recommended. And the bitrate, now most sites will tell you that 6,000 is the limit, but just set it to 7,000, see what happens. Maybe you get in trouble, maybe you don't. And that's pretty much your set. And in XSplit, these same options are pretty much the exact same way. You just have to click through maybe a couple more menus just to see them, but they work the same way. You set those, you're streaming, and congrats, you've already got amazing stream quality. But the proof is in the pudding, right? We should take a look and maybe compare a bit. So I actually bought a 2060 GPU to upgrade my streaming PC. Previously, it was rocking a 1080 Ti and it had a Ryzen 7 processor. I didn't change the processor. I just changed the GPU. I sold the 1080 and I got a couple extra $100 to, blow on some headphones, really, as you can see in my other videos. But let's take a look at an encode of what I was previously doing, which was using the CPU. And this is 720p on the medium preset on x264 at 60 FPS. And then this is a 1080p encode at 60 FPS using the GPU with the new NVENC encoder. Now I get this is kind of apples to oranges because of different resolutions. Problem is that x264 couldn't do 1080p at medium with the Ryzen machine. So I'll actually put a link in the description to the raw files because YouTube compression kind of plays around with it. I recommend you download the files, don't just play them straight from the Google Drive link, because then you're basically getting YouTube, compression again, or basically re-encoding. So there's a 1080p file from NVENC, there's a 720p file from NVENC, and then there's the 720p file from x264. Take a look at it. Let me know what you think. Do you think there's a difference? Do you think one looks better? Let me know in the comments. And what do you think? Have you been trying to upgrade your stream quality? What roadblocks have you run into trying to do that? What things have you tried? What things have worked? What things haven't? Do you think it's a waste? And I've also put some links into different NVIDIA GPUs. This is a 1660, this is a 2070, this is a 2060. Links in the description, they're pretty good. The price kind of skyrockets pretty quickly, and I know the 3000 series is coming out soon, theoretically, but I'm guessing maybe there's going to be even another NVENC revision, because I haven't heard NVIDIA talking about NVENC too much, so who knows, we could have crazy looking 1080p with the next GPUs. We'll see soon, but if you're looking for that real quick stopgap, I want to upgrade my stream, but I don't want to buy a whole new streaming PC, or I just want to keep my current PC, that's a good one. Anyway, leave a like if this was helpful, and subscribe for more ways to light your wallet on fire with streaming tech. Thanks again for watching. Catch you on the next one.